Tonight, dedicated to my mom.
So here it is from the start of the show. Bring out the horns, cause you know I gotta go. Yes, baby, I love to spit it right, cause it's more than being righteous. I do it every night. I do more than just try to go to romance. I'll take you to France if given a chance. I am the type to light them candles. Baby girl, I like to suck your toes in the sandals. I will just fluff up the sheets. Cold, grab your ear and rock the beat. Just nibble on your body, cause you are my hottie. Don't you understand? I let loose like a shotty. Kind of growl, protect you like a Roddy. I am the man and I always caress your body.
See what you see is what you get. When you ain't seen nothing yet. See what you see is what you get. When you ain't seen nothing yet. See what you see is what you get. When you ain't seen nothing yet. See what you see is what you get. When you ain't seen nothing yet.
You ain't seen nothing, I get better every day. Understand, you know I wanna play. I pray, you say that together you'll be with me no matter what, baby.
Yeah.
You're my wife and I love you so.
I love you too,
know
babe.
that spiritually we're gonna grow. I need to read more and start to appreciate what you do, cause you're more than great. You gave me my son and I feel like number one. And you cook so good and you get the job done. Your hand to the house and the flowers I should buy. I need to get more cause you are my cutie pie. Long hair, short hair, doesn't really matter. You look so good that you make my teeth chatter. I scatter cause I want you to see. I'll climb the chart because I love you, baby.
I love you too. What you see is what you get. When you ain't seen nothing yet.
What you see is what you get. When you ain't seen nothing yet.
Okay. So there's a story here, and well,
Welcome
welcome. Oh my
to
God.
episode 190, Knowledge is Love, BigEAstrology. And now I'll let the missus say her thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, we just heard the song. I
Yeah.
had to tell them. Anyways, so it was our first year of marriage, and we had gotten in a little argument, and he left kind of angry. Hey, Javanka. He left a little angry, or we were both angry. I was angry. He was, I don't know what, and he went to the studio, and he came back several hours later.
And the BX.
Yes. And he played that song for me. And he said he went in the booth, laid it down in one track or one take. Sorry, And that was a song that he created for me when we were fighting. So let me tell you something. He raised the bar in terms of how to make up when you get in an argument. And he has definitely been with me through long hair. I've had really, really short hair. I had blonde hair for a hot second. I actually went through a time where I cut all my hair off. I straightened it. I cut all my hair off. I got this Brazilian blowout thing. I nearly killed myself because I had a reaction to that formaldehyde chemicals. And my throat began closing up. I went straight with blonde hair. And then I said, oh, well, let me do some. I did something to it. My hair. I tried to, I don't know what I tried to do. Anyways, long story short, my hair fell out. I had the shortest straight hair. It was crazy. And it was years to grow it back. And so
I stayed with her.
He stayed with me through the
like the songs,
short and long of
like
it.
the name of the song, and you can find it on Spotify by E Complete, featuring Elijah and Alana. Our love still grows. We're coming up this summer on 16 years of marriage. But happy Valentine's Day. How you guys doing? How you feeling,
Day.
Javanka, and everybody coming in?
And every day, it should be a day that you
celebrate love.
And love, and regardless of who's in your life, show some love.
Yeah, it shouldn't be based on a holiday. The moon's in Taurus for Valentine's Day, the next 2.5 days where it's exalted. So it's really good because it's about all the senses and the smell goods and this and that. And actually got a nice little cookie for my wife
Yes, I already ate mine.
Oh, she ate her.
I know. I
She
said,
ate her cookie. She
you don't
couldn't
just
even wait. So I got a cookie
it
for
was
me.
just a single Girl Scout cookie.
Wow, I have another one if you want one.
Okay, well, I might take you up on that.
So
Before the
anyway,
show is over.
but with the moon in Taurus, it's definitely about honoring the five senses, being practical, pragmatic, prudent. It's still Aquarius season. And, just so you guys know, Mars is conjunct Pluto today. And then late tomorrow night, we're going to have Venus enter in conjunct Pluto. And so energy can be intense. Try not to argue. It can be transformative and passionate and all that. But I think the Taurus moon is definitely helping the energy for today, for Valentine's Day, and it's conjunct Jupiter. And what we wanted to share with you guys tonight and just talk about is obviously really love and relationships, but really celebrating and honoring it, but speaking about my Elevators to Love relationship coaching program, which my wife is a part of, and I offer this service for individuals or couples. And it's really about going through the 12 elevators and 12 floors of transforming yourself and your life to prepare you for your future soulmate potentially. Or if you are in a relationship, to really help you to save or fix or make slight adjustments to your marriage. But it's really a process that in many ways that I went through myself, and she was kind of doing a lot of the similar things at the same time to prepare to meet the love of our life. And it really worked. So it's a program that's been in the making for really years, decades, but it's something that I'm really proud of because I did the work and then I found my bride. Okay. And, doing this program, and I've been doing it for years, but now I'm going to do it. I went from 9 floors to now 12, but also now bringing her into it, especially for couples, out of the 12 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, she'll be a part of it. And then even doing one-on-one where I'm working with the man and she's working with the woman. But soon we'll go to my website and we'll share the screen and show you. And Alana will go over we'll go over the floors, and then we'll go in depth breaking down a couple of the floors for you. I gotta say though, in astrology, Venus, 5th house, 7th house, Juno, Jupiter, these are the main placements that you want to look for that I do in a love audio chart reading, which a lot of people have been booking lately. So thank you. But at the same time, it's very important to understand the moon because it's your emotional mind, your body, health, family you create, intuition, mother, but it's how you respond and react to one another. And it's very intimate and private, right? I'm the Capricorn moon, she's the Sagittarius. So, a lot of astrology, insiders and people would be like, "Oh, that's not the best." But we make it work. And I think it's really understanding when you look at a synastry compatibility chart and you look at, charts of people, any two human beings can work together in a successful relationship. It's about the effort, the love, the discipline, and what you want to put into it is what you'll get out of it.
Absolutely. And it's important. Astrology is an amazing tool. It is something that can give so much insight, but you ultimately have the power to make choices for your life and to make or to not make things work in your life. And so, Cassiopeia says hello. Sorry. So it's just, it's really important that we understand that we all have power. We all have the ability to change and to do. So.
Right. And that's important because as we'll see when we go to the floors, the first floor is unlearn. Right. And honestly, this can be done at any age, but I believe that the first floor unlearning is a process that every human being should go through between like the ages of 21 to 31, 20 to 30, 22 to 32, doing the deep dive of introspection, being honest with yourself, asking yourself the tough questions, and really getting in there and trying to purge, surrender, release, detox things from the subconscious mind that were programmed into you as a child that no longer serve you. Because a lot of these things are coming from our parents, the first relationship we see. And maybe if your parents weren't together, then you saw a broken relationship. The government, the media, the school system, magazines, television, film, movie shows, Cosmopolitan magazine, Vogue, all this stuff that influences, that tells us, right? What's the type of woman I should be with? She needs to be this, that, that. Oh, what's the type of man she needs to be with? He needs to be this, the knight in shining armor, right? All these.
And I think now more than ever, we are bombarded by media, and media will oftentimes tell us a story that isn't for our best interest. And not to make everything bad or whatever, they just their purpose is to sell and to market and entertain. But you and I, we're responsible for making our happiness. And so that sometimes includes like not listening to the media, or not taking all of the images that they want to give us as healthy and normal at face value, and really making decisions for ourselves.
Yeah. And, and that's what's so interesting about the map of your life, the birth chart, because things are very detailed and specific in terms of archetypes, character types, potentially, different types of people, that things can be a little bit easier for you, or that the chart shows that can be actually a better mate for you. For example, I'm a Scorpio rising, and my 7th house of relationships and marriage is Taurus. She is a Taurus rising. Mm-hmm. That's the 7th house. Her 7th house is Scorpio for relationships and marriage, and I'm the Scorpio rising. So, and you can see these things in a couple's chart. Somebody had emailed me about doing a composite chart, and honestly, I've just never done one. And it's not something that, I have really studied a lot. So a composite chart, different from the synastry compatibility, is dealing with the relationship, but it's actually, I believe, and Javanka, you may know this, it's getting the midpoint of the two signs, right? So the midpoint between Virgo and Pisces would be Sagittarius. So for us, it would be a Sagittarius sun. So it's just taking our middle points of our placements and then, just creating its one chart that's the merging of the two of us. But the only problem that I have with that is I have to, do the research, because if I'm going to do it, I always tell you guys, if I don't know something, I'm honest. But I would want to be a master of it in terms of doing it as a service. So I just told the person that, I do synastry compatibility, but it's something that I may research to wind up starting to do. And I will let them know and let you guys know if I do, because I wonder, when you just have the one chart between the two people, how is that getting the perspective from each person? It's just saying, this is the chart of the two of you together and how the relationship itself.
But it's actually the energies in the middle, so it's not even necessarily.
Yeah.
I mean, they're saying that our two energies coming together.
I believe so. Javanka, do you know?
I don't know. It's a little,
that it just seems a little. And I know plenty of people do.
Oracle Deborah's saying, so that's the P to the other person's side. That's cool. And I don't know, would that energy be the same just because it's in the middle? Like, he and I, we share a lot of things that are actually total opposites of each other.
Yeah. So like, I'm a Virgo, she's a Pisces.
But then you have people who have so much in common or very close. I think it'd be very difficult.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's different schools of thoughts, to what people think is better or resonate with for a relationship chart. I tend to really like the synastry compatibility, because it's teaching you, right? Like, if my Mars is hitting your sun or your moon in a certain way, unconsciously or subconsciously, I could be hurting your feelings and not be intending to. And so in the synastry chart, I can explain the hard aspects and teach you guys, in a relationship, how to make things work better. you know, so I would just have to really figure that out, how that would play out in the composite. I'm not like poo-pooing it or knocking it. It's just I'm not familiar with it. It's not something that I was ever taught. So I'd have to, you know, do it on research it and figure out the best way to interpret and analyze it, you know. But how are you guys doing today? Are you enjoying your Valentine's Day? Did you have fun? Any stories? Any potential love or romance?
We have Javanka here. We
Yeah.
also have Cassiopeia. She wished us a happy
Thank you,
Valentine's Day.
Cassiopeia. I'm
We've
so
got
glad
old
for you to be back.
Simon.
What up, old
Peace
Simon?
to you as well.
Hey.
And peace and love from Oracle. Well, both Oracle Deborah and
Oracle Deborah. I love it.
And Simon.
Hey, Deborah, do you do like Oracle card readings and stuff like that? You should email me. I'd like to talk to you about that type of stuff. That's pretty cool. I'd like to know and maybe share your placements. Oh, before we get to the website and show you and start discussing the Elevators to Love relationship coaching program, please come this Saturday, February 17th, 12 p.m. noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, astrological coffee. You see how I flip it, right? Coffee talk with Eric. And it's the start of my 3rd year, Coffee Talk number 25. I'm very proud of it, and beautiful, amazing people like Javanka and Hope and Stephen and Kimberly and Alexandre and Pauline and Charlene and Danny and and Isaac. So many people come all the time, and regulars, and people have come, and the last 2 years has been a blast, and I'm very excited for season 3. And I want to start off season 3 with something a little bit different, where I my celebrity birth chart series, I only do charts of people that have passed away, famous people, politicians, celebrities, entertainers, whatever. I just feel, for me spiritually, it's not right to do so much chart in the public sphere that is alive without their permission. But privately in Coffee Talk, I've decided to do, and I think it's actually his birthday, February 17th, Michael Jordan's birth chart, and the late, great Kurt Cobain from Nirvana, who's, I think, there's 0 degrees Pisces, but he's on the cusp of, and I'll be talking about, maybe I'll come on Saturday, Sunday night, probably Saturday night, to do the cusp of sensitivity. The Aquarius Pisces cusp, and that's Kurt Cobain. But I'm going to be teaching how to read a birth chart. How do you tack it? Like, where do you start? You start in the first house, but what's the mindset, and what are you looking for? Day chart, night chart, all these things. So it's 2 hours, $20, and you need to just email me directly. Don't wait till Saturday morning. Try to get to me before Friday, or even Friday night. I'll be sending out the Zoom link late Friday night. But it's 2 hours, $20, and you can email me at BigEAstrology, like the shirt says, BigEAstrology@gmail.com. And I would love to meet some of you guys in person, and hopefully you get to come and meet great people like Javanka, and we have a great time. And Evelyn and all the people that come, Bella, Kimberly, because I wanted to create a community. I call it my 11th house crew, where people feel safe and comfortable and not alone in talking about astrology and spirituality and, esoteric knowledge, because it's not a bad thing. And I know sometimes friends and family are against it or poo-poo it, and you can feel very alone. But with me and my people, it's family. And the Coffee Talk members will tell you, we really have a great time. You learn astrology, you make friends, and sometimes you make business connections. We have a lot of amazing people that come that also, people share their big threes, but share the services that they offer too. So I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, and that's what I love. Eric and I are truly about trying to build community and also build up the people within that, as you mentioned about the businesses and so forth. I just launched a free group called High Frequency Entrepreneurs, HI Frequency Entrepreneur. Sorry, no S. But so I'm barely getting it off the ground. There's very little on it now, but it is absolutely free. We're going to be featuring people's businesses and contact details and so forth, and pictures on Instagram
and Facebook. Yeah.
YouTube I have one training video up there now, talking to people about how they can price their products and services.
Did you put that on Sabale Pure, or you did a YouTube for High Frequency?
I have a video. I have It's on Sabale Pure, but I also decided to go ahead and make a high frequency YouTube page. So I have it there. And then the group.
She's busy. I didn't even know she did that.
So on Facebook, I have a group which I have to get with one of my girlfriends to teach me how to use Facebook, because I've actually haven't touched Facebook in a few years. Like, I have something feed over there from Instagram, but I really don't know how to use it. But I figure it's the best place to start having that interaction and ask. But the point of the group is for collaboration, education, support, and community. And the collaboration, I want small businesses that do high frequency things that help our people build up, because the big, huge conglomerates, they have no problem putting out collaborations and doing all of this marketing and whatnot. We need to come together so that we're building up. And Javanka's heard me talk about this. So it's going to take a couple weeks to get fully solidified, but
you guys can go follow, subscribe.
And what I'm going to start doing is reaching out to those people who are following and getting their logos, their different things, because I want to start sharing it. I hate when you get on a Facebook group and like you got one gatekeeper at the top who basically wants to just sell you stuff and says nobody can talk about what they do. We're going to talk about herbs, but don't talk about what you do. No, I want everyone to be talking about their businesses, but it's not a place for like one-off sales. I want it to be businesses helping businesses grow, whether you're, pairing together to do a live, or you have a shop and you want to carry a line, or whatever it happens to be. Anyways.
Teamwork makes the dream work,
yes,
people.
Yes, it does. Community, y'all.
So let's go check out the website, and Miss Alana is going to read some of the
Is that it?
No, that screen share?
No. Next one over.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
And then I don't.
Yeah, BigEAstrology relationship coach is open.
Here it is. Okay, little bit of stuff there. So yay! If you guys have been to Eric's site, which we worked so hard on, this is the navigation bar, and you see the relationship coaching up there. So here we are on our coaching plan. And you know what? I got to tell you, when you first unveiled this and began growing it, I was like, dang, he's really got some great floors in here. He's working it. So I was very, very impressed with my husband and what he's doing here. But what I love about it is that it really is very comprehensive. And so if you are looking to really build up or make a change to get yourself ready, or to make a change within a relationship that's already there, or to find that relationship.
And this is also to help you increase your self-love.
Right. And that's where it all starts, right? It all starts with self-love first, and then we can give the love that we need. And part of self-love is being completely authentic to who you are.
And honest, right? The shadow work, the blind spots, we got to be self-critical in a positive way and introspective, you know?
And it's so funny because, I remember before, you go through all this stuff of wondering what the other person's going to think, and maybe I shouldn't show them this, or maybe I shouldn't do that. And what I realize now is anytime I was being inauthentic with whoever I was trying to be in a relationship with, it wasn't working. And that was one thing that I felt really blessed, is that he and I think we were just both at that place where we were just done.
There was no games, we I think the first two conversations we laid a lot out on the table.
Oh my God. Well, we spoke for 3.5 or 4 hours the first night.
It was like 6 hours in 2 days.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot, maybe more than that.
Well, that was just at night. Plus we spoke during the day. Yeah.
And the first time I came out to New York to see him, within hours, I'm meeting his mom, I'm meeting his sister. I'm like, here you go, meet everybody. But anyways, so let's talk about this. Oh my gosh. Okay. So it's 12 weeks. And if you sign up, you're going to get what I call a quiet time kit. It's something quiet times for me have been a part of my life for a little over 20 years. Oh my gosh, almost 24. Oh my gosh. Wow. almost 24 years now, I have been doing quiet times. And so for me, that's getting up extra early before the noise of the day gets started. And I'm either praying, reading, meditating, doing something to center myself. So I told Eric that whoever takes this, I want to introduce that practice. If they're not already doing it, kind of introduce it
So
to
tell
them.
them what you're going to send them.
Oh, what am I going to say? So I'm going to send you a beautiful candle. I'm going to send you a journal, a very nice writing utensil. I'm thinking that I want it to be a pencil because that lead and a natural hemp paper or some kind of nice paper, I want it to be something where you're really connecting with the earth and with the energy of the moment. So you'll have your candle, your journal, and your writing.
Because you're going to do homework in this coaching
yes,
program.
you're going to have to do some work. And then a crystal and something. I'm just thinking something that you can hold in your hand as you're writing or whatever. So that's what you're going to get first. And then you're going to start by getting into floor number 1, which is unlearning.
Yes.
And we're going to go through here quick and then we'll get off of this page, but we can look at some other things. The second week is your daily writing, which will be introduced in the week 1, but we're really going to get into why that writing is important and how just the act of writing, speaking, writing, listening, all of it comes into play so that you can get really connected.
Yeah, and the daily journaling and being self-reflective is very healing in that process in itself. So it's something that I did that was preparing me to meet my wife, and I found it to be therapeutic. But at the same time, it really got me to organize my thoughts to see what things I was doing wrong in prior relationships, and then what is it that I really wanted out of the next and hopeful final relationship. And so that was, and you'll see in other floors where we have different tasks that you need to do to hone that in. But just the concept of really writing something every day, it's really helpful and purifying to your heart and your soul, I find.
Right. And so the third floor is meditation and breath work. And then the fourth floor is what is your illness? And so by this could be a physical, this could be emotional, but this is identifying the blocks within your life.
Yeah, because we all have blocks, whether it's unconscious, subconscious, or it's very conscious, where we self-sabotage, right? And that's something that we don't want to do.
The fifth floor is finding and using the right tools. So this is a custom floor where we have different tools that we go to right away. Obviously, Eric is an astrologer, but figuring out the tools that are going to be custom to you. Like if we need to, we bring in different modalities to help strip away or get to a level of growth. Let's see. Sorry, I'm a little far away.
It could be numerology, human design. Just come closer. Yeah.
Exactly.
Number 6.
And number 6 is seek advice.
Yeah.
So, and not just seeking advice, but seeking advice from the right sources.
Elders, married couples, talking to people who have had or have successful relationships or marriage. And I understand that, definitely in this generation, not everyone gets married, but there's people who have long-term committed relationships, 10, 15, 20 years,
Right.
So those are people that you can speak to, your aunt, your uncle, your older siblings, your parents,
And then the 7th floor is to identify role models. So a little bit different than seeking advice. I mean, how would you identify the role models and seeking advice?
Well, the difference is I think for me, the advice is for kind of what to look for or how to connect. The role model, that is more, can be more specific to the gender, right? Where a woman may look to a woman that is established or an elder that has, been through and knows how to have a successful marriage, who's raised their children, maybe has grandchildren, or someone that really is someone that you admire and look up to and that you would like to model. You're like, wow, she's a great wife, a great mother. For me, I remember looking at my uncle, and also an older cousin who, they were in relationships and marriages. And I was like, wow, okay, this is really poignant and insightful, and asking advice about, well, how do you do this? And, things like that, with even raising children.
Right. And so we'll get back on that. But then the 8th floor is, finally making a decision. Sometimes we spend so much time cycling around what we should do that we never just make the decision, make the jump, do what we need to do so that we can actually progress our life where we want it to be. So do you want to close back out and go into the...
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna...
Oh, no, I was gonna, because I like having the computer here. It's easier for me to see.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was. So yeah, we just wanted to show you that on the site and stuff. And if you haven't been here, you can go sign up, for my newsletter. See my homepage. I am going to stop sharing. I'm just showing them the homepage.
Oh, we worked hard on all
this.
this.
These are all the different, services, and you can click and go in to book your service here. Speaking about this beautiful podcast that you guys are here now watching, and we thank you very much. Yay. Coffee Talk, and you can sign up here. But remember, if you order something or even sign up for Coffee Talk here, you have still, I don't have it set up to purchase the Coffee Talk, but you can show that you're interested, and then just email me directly at BigEAstrology@gmail.com. This, we've got an update. I'm up to over 600 clients now, well over. And, you can watch different videos, testimonials, all this stuff. So that's a little insight to BigEAstrology.com. Okay, click it up there. Back to the episode.
Here we go. So, anyway, so now let's look a little bit more in depth at some of these. And I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking as you're listening in on these. So we spoke about the first floor, which is so critical, unlearning. And what we talk about is don't be fooled. Every great journey begins with the first step. Letting go of societal programs and judgments that may be holding you back is a must. Through deep introspection, you'll find your authentic voice and remove the veils, allowing yourself to see the world with newfound clarity. And just, removing those veils and relearning. So often, what I found for me is I grew up with certain traumas or just different things that
we all do. Let's be honest, we all do.
To keep me going at a time when I needed it. And so they were things that kept me safe and let me keep progressing, right? But as I got older and got out of those bad situations, I was able to peel them away. But what happens is we get in such a habit that we have to actually unlearn some of the things that kept us safe before, because by holding on to that past, we're actually keeping ourselves rooted in that past. And as much as you might want something different, you can't get something different unless you and detach from the past and move forward, right?
And reprogramming the subconscious mind is very
and
clear,
that's the big
important
thing.
For that. Yeah.
How many of you are familiar with Joe Dispenza? He's an amazing, he's a neuroscientist, but he also is a spiritual man, and he kind of has brought those two worlds together. And there are just some amazing things that we're able to do to actually change our entire physiology just by changing our mindset.
Yeah,
super powerful. So we'll be introducing some of his concepts into this program.
But I want to say this though, because I want people to understand, like for me, I designed this program years ago, and I just recently have been introduced to his work and stuff like that. And what made me laugh is that some of the things that he speaks about, that's kind of how I believe in things that I was already doing. So I just want to make that clear because, not to say that I'm a doctor, but I am a doctor of love.
I mean, like, let me tell you something. As I said, like, when he showed it to me, I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is actually really, really.
And this is a program I've been doing for years.
And mind you, both of us have done our own forms of counseling and growing and this and that. So it's incorporating real life. It's incorporating 15 years of marriage and things that we've learned how to ebb and flow with each other and how to have something healthy. Another area that I really got excited about is
what floor?
Oh my gosh. Now
Analyze your past?
Yeah, I'm sorry. The analyzing of the past, because a lot of people right now, it's a real trendy thing to talk about your shadow work, and it's I love when things get popular, but I sometimes don't like when they get too trendy because then people kind of gloss over it and don't really understand the purpose of it. And Eric hit on it. It's not about looking at things that we don't like about ourselves and beating ourselves up, but it is looking at why did those things grow from it. So like this morning, I was doing some shadow work on myself and I was looking at abandonment issues or isolation issues. And as I was doing it, it hit me like it was in isolation that a lot of my judgment, the ways that I judge people. And when you judge people, you're ultimately judging yourself, right?
And this is 12th house stuff, you guys. You know what I mean? Really exploring, because remember, the 12th house is isolation. It's the bedroom. It's your dreams, fantasies, unconscious, subconscious mind, right?
And Oracle Deborah is talking about Reverend Ike. And yes, he is amazing. I've been trying to figure out, like, so these are old videos that we're seeing, because I'm looking at him. I'm like, did he just get stuck?
Who's Reverend Ike?
We've seen his videos, and I've seen it, and I've been trying to figure out, and maybe that's why it always looks like it's other people posting it, because he is so much from the past. I need to find out. Yes, absolutely. So anyways, going back to the working on the shadow stuff, what I was realizing is that I learned how to judge because I felt so isolated and judged myself. And yes, it served me to keep me going at that time. But these are things that you have to work through and purge from your life if you want to build a solid relationship with someone else. So
but you guys also know, from me, and I say this to all my clients and I say it here often, for me, we must retire from the negative self-talk, because that doesn't help anything. Because even if you get around someone and you want to date, like, I don't want to, meet a woman and she's talking to me and like, oh, well, I'm terrible at this. And, oh, I did it. Oh, yeah, but I'm horrible at this. And I'm not that. I'm not, like, all that negative self-talk. And sometimes we do it with the subconscious mind. Unconsciously, we're on autopilot. It's like our way of thinking we're being like humble and thinking this, but really what you want to be is someone who is striving to grow, striving for perfection, right? If you're not changing and growing, then you're dead. So if you're alive and vibrant and trying to be the best version of yourself, well, that's also what you want to say, So I would tell her, like, hey, you know what? I was honest. I said, this is this, I do this, right? I told her about my visual impairment. I told her on Sundays, I don't go to Hooters or this and that. I'll do whatever you want Friday and Saturday, but Sundays I go to church and I watch football, right? And this is what I told her when I first met her, because I wanted to lay it on the table. Like, this is Eric. Like, I'm very real and authentic, right? And also, you don't want to go into a relationship hiding things and playing games and not being your true authentic self.
It always comes out.
Because it always comes out. You know what I mean?
And it creates that separation. And, one of the other floors that we talk about is seeking advice. And, part of seeking advice, and I didn't mention it before, but, it's learning how to seek advice and to become vulnerable It's an art form to allow yourself to be vulnerable and seek that advice from a place of honesty, and that's what we really want to encourage people to do, because when you seek advice, you're building a bond and you're building community. And I feel like in our society, we have really pushed this individual agenda, and maybe agenda is the wrong word, but we kind of told everybody, yeah, do it by your bootstraps.
This mantra, this mantra of like,
and it's like, you know what?
No one is an island unto themselves.
Designed to be solitary people. So much happens and grows out of that solitude. Now, I love to be by myself. I love to have time. Hence, I get up in the morning and I have my prayer time and I get into my thoughts and whatnot. But we were not completely designed to be alone and to be lonely. The Bible says he set the lonely in families, right? In community. And
community is very
always
important,
been something that Eric and I are really, really big on, and learning to seek advice. But who are you getting the advice from? What are you seeking? And learning when and how to. Certain things people can't advise you on. Certain things have to be solely what I want, what he wants, what you want. I can mean well, but there are certain aspects.
But wait, she's got a funny example, right? If you guys have been watching, like, Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp and Cat Williams, and then he just had Monique on. But tell them the thing that.
By the way, shout out to Monique, because
she was impressive. That was great.
Watching that, I liked her before. I love her now. Okay, I love her.
A lot of respect.
But at one point, she was calling out Shannon, saying, because Shannon was getting relationship advice from Shaquille O'Neal, and she was like, "He ain't married. What are you doing? Why are you going to get relationship advice from somebody who's divorced and not in it and not happy?" And I think that's one of the things that make Eric and I so passionate about it, is that we look around sometimes at our friends or just various people, and they're not happy in their marriages. And yes, Team Monique all the way. They're not happy in their marriages, and they're not thriving in their marriages. And it breaks Eric and I's heart, because I hate when I hear people say, "Nah, I don't ever want to get married." I mean, it's your choice. You don't have to. I'm not, whatever. But I say, it makes me sad, because what usually is that you haven't been exposed to a really healthy
marriage,
relationship. And that's what Eric and I have. And I tell people, whoever your partner is, whether you get married or don't get married, they should be making you feel like you can do or be anything every single day.
Take over the world.
If that person isn't building you up, and sometimes building you up means telling you the truth so that you can build and grow. Like, you have to prune a tree so that it
this
can grow
one here,
and be full.
Oh, she's tough on me.
I am, but and he's tough on me sometimes. But I'll tell you what.
But it's important, and that's how we both grow. We've both changed so much, right? In this 15 years,
yeah, absolutely.
16 years together, we both have grown together and separately. And in some ways, we've constantly always reintroduced ourselves to one another, because we've never really grown apart. We've just, grown together, but we're still individual, people. Her interests are not all my interests. My interests are not all her interests, and we respect each other's individuality, but then we find our common ground in love and come together.
And going back to who you seek advice from, if you are wanting advice for relationships, we tell people, like, there are certain boundaries that we talk about and that we firmly believe should be in all solid relationships. One is, my best friends that I seek advice from and hang out with are not single people. Because I, as a married woman, a mother and all that, I don't need to be out hanging on the prowl with somebody single. It's not that what they're doing is wrong, but that's not for me.
She's in a different place and stage of life.
You know what I mean? I could be like, "Girl, go have a great time," give you a high five and go about it. But I don't need to be in that bar with you, because what am I going to do in that bar that's made for single people except introduce the possibility of me doing something that would not be in support of my marriage or my family. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of times we've been being told these lies about how, oh, that's your freedom, and don't let somebody clip your wings and this and that.
Yeah.
No, it's
These
called
sayings,
protecting what you have.
You
because
have to love
if you
and
don't
guard your
protect
relationship and
something,
marriage.
you could lose something. And trust me,
it's not worth losing.
people seek solid relationships. So don't let anybody, have.
Go ahead, but let me say this though. But also remember
Stephen the Jupiterian just
what
hopped
up,
on there.
Stevie? How you doing, buddy? But also the enemy wants to break up successful relationships, partnerships, and marriage. And so you don't need to give people that window in to what you have, right? I'm not going out for drinks with some lady or going to some single club or Hooters, or I don't even go to strip club, any of that stuff with the fellas. Like, I just don't do that. Does that mean that I don't have fun and don't have a good time and I don't have guy friends? No, I do. And I have a great time. But for me, you also have to understand there's stages in life, right? So I've done all my partying and running the streets and running and running and running, and I've graduated.
Oh, I've heard.
Watch yourself. And I've graduated to a place where on a Friday night, having a good time could just be date night with her watching the Netflix or the DVR of things we don't ever get to watch because we're so busy during the week. And that's still a great time to me. And I love being a father, right? As you see on here when you see my boys, right?
Absolutely.
So there's just fun gets shifted and changed. But honestly, if you're honest with yourself, you don't want to be in your late 40s and 50s out at the nightclub and at the bar and this. It's a young person's life and game. If you're still doing that in your 40s and 50s, I'm not judging, but it doesn't feel good or comfortable. Okay. And maybe some people still love it. It's up to you.
And there could be a really good reason, like they went through a transition, maybe they went through a divorce, or maybe they had something happen where whatever, and so now they're looking. But what we are
that's what we have dating apps for.
What we're hoping to be able to do is help people get to a solid place of self-love, so that then they can use those tools to go out and build a healthy, happy relationship. And if you already have it and you're wherever, because we've done stuff with people who
I've worked with married couples and single people.
But you've also worked with people who are preparing to get married.
Yeah.
Right. So, and so we would just love to be able to help anyone who might feel like they need any direction in that, because
and that coaching,
one thing that we can say, like our 14-year-old makes fun of us. He's like, you guys are so funny, but I'll tell you what, he also loves the fact that we hug, we kiss each other, we are really solidly together.
We are modeling for our children, right, what a healthy relationship and marriage is. My boys see from me how to treat a woman, right? And then they see from her how a woman should treat them in the future, what they might want potentially from a wife and a helpmate. Okay. And so we're very intentional, and it makes them feel safe and secure. We see it in their eyes and their comments, right? They make comments to each one, like sometimes I remember when the twins, they're 10 now, but they went to 6 and 7. They'd be like, give mommy a kiss, daddy, or hug her, or different thing, you know what I mean? And it's really sweet.
Wonderful,
It's really sweet.
So I think maybe there's only one more floor we want to talk about. I mean, there's 12 floors total.
We could just pick a
well, I was
one, like the 10th one, the 9th
like the 9th. Wait, was it the 9th? 9th floor, analyzing patterns. Like, I like that one because I think that is very, very powerful to changing your life. Is figuring out where the patterns are, what things maybe trip you up, and what things can take you to that next level of growth.
Yeah.
So
do you guys have any questions, any thoughts? How are you guys feeling? And you know what I want to stress, don't feel pressure because of Valentine's Day or any holiday. Love is something that should be 24/7, 365, but it also needs to be true and authentic in your heart. And guess what? If you're not in love or in a relationship right now, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with you or that situation. And if it's something that you are desiring and you feel like you've had trouble or issues with it, well, this is where it's hard. And I get it. Most human beings, they will seek advice for so many things, but not for love, because we all think, oh, I know how to date and meet people. I got this. But sometimes, you know what? Getting new ears and new eyes on and new perspectives on yourself, how you go about relationships, what you're choosing. You heard that expression, a millionaire matchmaker used to say, your picker's off. Well, these are things that through my coaching program or through a love chart reading or synergy compatibility, where I can really help guide you to kind of take you through the map of your life to show you where, things can just be adjusted, maybe just a little bit, to really help you on that journey and that path of true self-love, the love of God source creator, and the love of another. Okay.
Right.
So, but
I think that might be it.
let me know if you guys have any comments or questions. I hope you're doing well. And understand, February is gonna, it's gonna get a little intense. Right now, the North Node is conjunct Chiron. And this is a time to really, you can book my new service. This is a great time. My Black Moon Lilith and Chiron the Wounded Healer audio chart service. I just created it for $71. This really helps you to get into your root chakra or your intuition, right? To know who your tribe is, to push past the wounds of the emotional, physical, spiritual wounds of the Chiron, but also the trauma from the rejection of the Lilith, and then move past it. So in this service, right, I'm looking at the sign and the house of your Lilith and Chiron, any major aspects, and I analyze and break down for you guys really how to move forward, healing others, which entail helps you to heal yourself, and then really identifying your tribe and connecting to your intuition, root chakra. Nowhere in Western society are we really taught to trust our intuition.
Right.
And that is such a gift to really tap in to understand that. So those are some of the things that can really even help you too with this time in terms of what's happening in the cosmos ahora, right now. North Node and Aries conjunct Chiron. Now you got the Mars and Venus getting ready to hit Pluto. This is new energy. No one alive, no one living has ever experienced this. So you know where I'm at. You saw the website, BigEAstrology.com, or
thank you for joining
email
us.
me at BigEAstrology@gmail.com. And so I have some guests coming up this month, I think on the 21st and 29th. Go back and watch the episode with Marie Lucinda, a shamanic surgeon. That was really fun, talking about love and love and God's angels and stuff. And I'm really excited. I'm recording another podcast tomorrow, and that will be coming out. I don't know the date. I will let you guys know. But please go through my playlist and look at interviews and media, because in the last, 3 months, I've done
Quite a few.
I've done like 7 or 8 podcasts. And they're all a little different. A lot have been me sharing my NDE story, but there's been astrological predictions for 2024, me talking about my astrology and my business, but also my spirituality and just different things. So,
and also, please, we'd love to, have you share different insights and whatnot that you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That would mean a lot. Hey, Oracle. So, yes, I am from Long Island originally.
Did Oracle ever answer me about her Oracle cards or what she does?
Yes, she does do that. Okay. She does. And so, yeah, Rockville Center, Long Island.
Where are you from, Oracle?
And we'll see if I think she's still here.
You're from
and,
that's cool.
He's from NYC.
Yeah, from the place where they named it twice.
Anyways, guys, it's about that time.
It's been fun. We gotta, there you go. Perfect timing. Get ready. Get these kids down. But happy Valentine's Day. God bless you guys. I wish you guys the best. I hope I see you this Saturday at Astrological Coffee Talk with Eric, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern, 2 hours, $20. looking at the charts.
She's
And
from Philly.
oh, from Philly, cheesesteaks. Philly in the house.
Yes.
My good buddy was from Cheltenham. And I used to go to Penn Relays and party at Philly all the time. I had friends and cousins at UPenn, and I used to run down there, run track. So, but it's, Michael Jordan, Kurt Cobain. The Aquarius birth chart sale ends Sunday night at midnight. Aquarius Sun Moon Risings. You can reach out directly. Email me, BigEAstrology@gmail.com. It's 107 or 207 for the 40 to 50 minute custom video summary mini movie of your life along with audio transits. Okay. Have a good one. Enjoy this Taurus moon.
Good night.
And Coffee Talk is going to be a Gemini moon. So that should be really fun. I got to close. Am I on that to close that out?
Yeah.
Okay. And so this was fun. And I think I'm going to come back on Saturday night, maybe a little late, maybe like 9 or 10 p.m. Eastern, because it won't be on long, but I want to come on to talk about the cusp of sensitivity. And I'll try to get up the Virgo full moon video. And guess what? Somebody's birthday is coming up soon. So the Virgo full moon is February 24th, and right before her birthday. And we will also be celebrating February 19th, the Pisces birth chart sale. So look for that in community. And have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. And reach out if you're interested. Relationship coaching program, Elevators to Love.